Okay, so ma'am has started recording. Chalo. So you see inside this folder only, open up your terminal. Now you can obviously configure your React with no, web module or Webpack or Babel and all. But the fastest and best way to create is, so you can say npx create, all right, React app, and then just press dot. Okay. Chalo. So hopefully this will create your app. Uh, okay, we have some issue. Npm cannot find file for the given pattern s. Okay, the spelling mistake. There is a spelling mistake, so it should say create React app. All right. Now hopefully this works. Yeah, you see it says over here create, and I wrote over here CRAE, right? So that's the wrong spelling. All right. So there's still some problem. Please specify the project directory. Okay, so this is going to be a folder inside folder. So just you cannot say dot. You have to say the name. So let me just call it React B1 again. So it will create a new folder in here for me, and it should get installed. Yeah, you see it says React B1, and then this is the package.json file. It will override this as well. Yeah, we already got our node module. So let's just close this guy down and open this. Nope, no updates. All right, just wait a bit. Once it has installed, we can start working. All right. Okay, chalo, it's done. Yep, we got all our files, and now the package.json should be updated. Yes, it has been updated. So npx does lots of stuff under the hood for us. So you see, it is already creating stuff for me. It has installed a lots of dependencies. It initialized my package.json file as well, and inside over here also, if I go inside the src, it made a lots of files for me. And now all you have to start is, you can say, so we are using npm for you guys, right? So I'll say npm start. Okay, I guess npm run start. Yeah, it should be npx, I guess. uh, I am using yarn right now. So yeah, so we are getting a module error. Watching node modules is listed in dot ignore. Hmm. All right, there seems to be some problem. How do you start this guy? Npm run start. Okay, okay. Start. No, node start. Nah. Npx start. Well, it should work. Hmm. Why is it not working? I guess this is because I have yarn installed in my. So let's just see if there is some. Yeah, you might not need a tool chain recommended. Yep. So for single page app, use create React app. All right. Yeah, it says npm start. Why is it not working? There is no package file or. Oh, all right. You need to first go inside this folder. So you have to say cd React and then say b1. So that is my folder name right here. All right. Then you can say npm start. So this should work now. Yeah, it says React script starts. All that, this React scripts has lots of things under the hood. So all your testing and all get started over there. Okay, so let's just close the rest of this, guys. And yes, this is how you get started with React. Now there are stuff over here, like this is the test file, and you can always test your code as well. So there are different libraries. So let's just say npm run test. So now, okay, yeah, we need to again go to the library, and then we can say npm test. Yeah, now it's starting the test, and no test found later file rejects and last commit. All right, press A to run all test. Yeah, now it's running a test. Okay, so yeah, we got a one passed. So when you go in a company and all, just remember that they will ask you about testing, so you will have to learn it. I really can't do that right now, but this is using testing library for React. And but in major companies, the test driven development is done on Jest and Enzyme. All right, so always remember Bing is not Google. So Jest is a testing library for you, and then Enzyme is also a testing library for you. So yep. So these are the two joint. No, not this. Yeah, test. Yep, this one. So you see, this is your testing library. It is currently testing. It failed one of the test and it gave us just. Okay, so now it also tells us about the code coverage. So if you add this flag over here, dash dash coverage. All right. Now this flag gives you just the coverage. You can also add watch all. So it will be keeping a watch on every code that you type. So if I hit enter now, it should run it again. And whenever I make changes now, it should give me a test. So right now, if I'm saying coverage now, it should give us 100% almost of coverage. So let's go to the W. All right, it did not give us a coverage. So let's see if it gives us a coverage now by adding the flag dash dash coverage, right? Yeah, we are supposed to get a coverage. Enter to trigger this run. All right, it doesn't work right now. Chalo. So for now, let's just stop with testing and we can focus on this. And you see, the best part about React is it's hot loading module. Okay. So now if I go to app.js and say I don't want anything like this, so let's just remove all this and say diff and close this. And as soon as I save over here now, look, it will change over here as well. You see, it turned to a blank screen, and then like that only. So if I save it again, you see it comes up very fast. So let's just keep it like this for now. Yeah, so it gives us a black screen, and then let's remove the logo because I don't think we will be needing all that for now. And then let's remove the test also. Move to recycle bin. Let's delete the app.css also. We don't need it. We will create it as we go ahead, because I currently don't have anything inside my brains. All right, that can. Okay, chalo. So let's remove this as well, and then there should be other things that are. Yeah, there are things. All right. So now you see, I have deleted the app.css file, and it has app over here, and then it also has app header. Now there is a problem with CSS. React sometimes does not re-render your CSS automatically. So all you have to do is go here and hit a refresh. Now you see it gives us a white string, so it has refreshed properly. All right, let's remove this header as well. So yeah, and since if you don't have anything in between, you can just put a slash over here, and React knows that all right, there's nothing to be put in between. All right, so let's just clean up this guy as well. All right, we don't need web vitals. We are not going to be doing performance checking and all. So let's just save this. Let's delete this. Remove report web vitals as well. Let's delete it. All right. So this one also we can delete. So now this is all that you need to get started. All right. So now there are many things that you can start with in React. The first one being, let's go with React hooks. Okay. As I told you last time, Lavanya, that we have hooks and they make our life easier. Now this is a function component. Let's convert it to class component. Now what you can do over here is class app extends. All right, and then you can say React dot component. So you will have to import React as well over here. So we'll say import React from React. All right, and then uh, now I'm just demonstrating, so don't worry about the z squiggly lines. So it should say render over here, and then over here curly brackets, and then this guys, and in here it should say return. Okay, and then inside like this. Okay, so now the drawback having a React component like this is, now you see you have a hook over here. In previously with class component, what you had to do was, first you could not declare variables just like this. So you cannot say const something equals to something here. You would have to do something like super. No, you have to start with the constructor first, and then in they pass in the props. All right, then you will have to create curly braces, then you'll have to say super props, and then you'll have to say this dot state. So this is for your use state. All right, then you can say data equals to something, so you can say data is 0. Now this would initialize as an object. All right, and there are different kind of stuff like that. Now whenever you had to update it, you can say component dot did update. All right, so update, and then you would be, this is a function, and then over here you would have to do something, and then there were similar things. So there is an update, then there will be a mount as well, and then so I will order them. Now these are not in an order. Yeah, component did remove, and there was one more useless. It says component did get props. All right, so now in here did get props will come at the top, because you want to check if your component got a prop, so app should get a props. All right, then mount, it will come before update, and then did update would, so comes after mounting, and then remove was after did remove. So in here what happened was component would get some props, and then did mount after. So these functions and all that you called in here will run only after a component is mounted. And then if you have did update, then it will check if a component updated, then it will take in a argument over here, it known as previous props. All right, now you can call it as you wish, and then in here you would have to pass in something, and then did remove was when your component was detached. So if you went to some other page or stopped using a function, or you want to, this was just for performance purposes, so people did not use this as well because React already did that for us. So now this used to get tedious, and then nobody liked this class components for the same reason, because it uses object oriented. So that is where our functional javascript or functional React components come in. You see, you already get rid of all these things, then you also get rid of this, and you can just say const app equals to an arrow function over here, and then you can remove this as well, and then do this and do this. All right, and instead of saying them stuff, all you can say is count. You can just say type in here use state. All right, so it imported use state for me. I want yeah, this one, and then over here you should say count. Now remember that your second for this, so now it will has a second argument in here. So let me just make this bigger. You see count and then set count, this should always start with set. So if I had something else, new where, so it should start with set and then new where. All right, so always remember that whenever you are using state, you should always call set before that. Okay, now there may be updates which I have not tried or something like that, so you will find it that you can use something else like not set state. You can say update count. All right, but for developer ease and for people to understand, you say set state and use count. All right, so initial count will be using 0. Okay, now you must have realized that every time you create a new file, so let's just say create new file and we can say home dot, so let's just say counter dot js. All right, so if we create over here, we will have to type in import react from react. Okay, and then you will have to say const uh, counter equals to is an arrow function over here, and then you will have to say return and all that stuff. So you can just say div and hello. All right, but there is a far more easier way, and that is done by VS Code for you. So you have to install an extension. It is known as ES7 React. Yeah, this one. So it is by Najdar. I don't know how to pronounce his name. You are supposed to install it, and as soon as you install it, you will get something like this. So if you go over here and type in RCC, this is for React Control class component, and as soon as you hit enter, you see it gives you the entire this. And for functional component, you can say RAFC, and E is for default export, and then with prop types as well. We will be talking about prop types as well later on, but for now, let's just hold on to this. So let's, while we are in this part, let's just create a counter over here. Okay, so we will say prop types equals to count, so it will receive a prop and the prop will be 0. Okay, and then over here, since we have only one function, so you can either keep it inside curly bracket or just outside. So power of the functional component. All right, so we have prop types over here, and I guess this guy should be small. Okay, hopefully this works. Chalo, so let's just say this is the count. Okay, let's just save this as well. Yep. uh, Now you see, although we have this over here, we need to somehow connect this counter to this app. So if you were using Node.js, now you would have to install EJS and do some lots of stuff here and there. But React, being a beautiful thing, what it does is it just it will just create, do everything under the hood for you. So now I have my counter. So have I exported it? Yep, I have exported it. So I can just say counter over here. All right, and then we can pass in the count equals to count. Okay, and then you have to import it as well. So you have to say import counter from dash dot slash counter. All right, so now on rendering this, yeah, so hopefully let's just refresh this page. Yeah, it says this is the count. Now we will come over here and create our counter. So let's just create it. We can say the count is, and then just put in curly brackets here, and you can say props uh, props dot count. All right, so on saving this, we need to pass in something over. Yeah, it says 0 because it is coming from here. Now if I save this over here, yeah, it changes to 1. Okay, now what if you want to update this guy's state? So you don't want that count to change, you want it to update and all. Now in JavaScript, you would have to create a script tag. Okay, and then you would have to select something over here. Then so many lines of coding you would have to do. React, on the other hand, all you have to do over here is create a button. So you can just say button over here, and then what you can say is on click, and then put an equal to, and then a brackets. You can say set count, and then inside brackets you have to say count plus plus. So count is a constant. Okay, you cannot do like that, because count plus plus will do count plus 1. So and count is a constant, so it will cause issues with your program. All right, so now your set count will be updated. So this is a constant, and this is actually a function. So you don't have to say something like this and then pass in something over here. React does that automatically for you, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, and now it will give me a squiggly line. So that is our counter right now. So let's just refresh it. Oh yes, so every time you do this, you will have to create an anonymous function, or it will be called in every time. So now it should work. Yeah, we need to put in something inside this button as well. So this button adds something. All right. So yeah, so as soon as click on this, it will add up to this guy. All right. Now what if you want to change the state from the counter? So over here, the state of your count is 1, but you want to change it from here. So you can pass in count, and then I guess you can just say use state. Not sorry, you can just say set count, and then uh, pass it in like this. And let's just control X this from here. And what we can do is control V over here. I guess props dot count. So hopefully it works. So yeah, yes, we will have to pass in count as well, because it does not know what is the state. So you'll have to say count. Okay. Now this is something known as prop drilling. Let's just save this. So props dot count plus 1. Now hopefully it works. Yeah, props dot count, set count please. Yes. Now hopefully it works. So click on, yeah, you see the count is being updated. Now there is something, one more thing that is good about React. Even though over here you have 1, and you have changed it to 21, and but then you refresh it, you see it gets 1. So now if I change this as many as times I can, and say over here I want to change something over here at the button, I just want to say button adds the count. All right, so if I save this guy, what will happen is it should refresh the page like Angular, Vue and all do. But React, it saves the state for you. You don't have to redo the, if say you have an entire big form with you, and then you have to fill it up, and every time you make a small change you will have to update the form data, then you will have to enter the form data. React, you don't have to do that. It just allows you to do it by default, and it does not lose your state until and unless you hit the refresh button. So even if I click over here, it does not update the state. As soon as I click refresh over here, you lose your state. So that's the power of React. The best power of React is its component based library. All right, and if you see, everything gets loaded at once, and it refreshes everything at once. So let's just go to the view page source, and if you see over here in this static.bundle.js, now right now it looks very big, but if we create a build for this, we will see that it gets significantly smaller. So what we'll do over here is go here and just say npm run build. Now the build does not always work with you, uh, because you need to have a proper and running server. All right, it is not working. You are supposed to call the build command on a proper server. So when we'll be hosting our this, you can say we'll be hosting on Heroku. All right, so Heroku. Yeah, so this is a cloud application platform, and we'll be hosting our website over here, just like I have hosted my many of my websites. All right, so let's just close all this. Let's not get diverted from here and learn a bit about something else. So we have still half an hour. All right, let's talk about rendering in React. So updating data. Now you see, even though you can update data over from here, but let's say you want to update this dynamically without the user intervention. So what you can say over here is we use the use effect hook. So right now you see I have imported it from React, and so since we have React snippets, it should give us this guy. Yeah, you can always remove the return part from here. You remove the input as well. Now let's go step by step. So what it does is, on your component when it is mounted for you, so as soon as the page loads properly, so all this code and say any code that you have written over here, you must have created a function. So uh, let's just create a function over here, and then there will be arguments over here, and then you will create a nice function. So all that will be carried out. So functions don't get carried out. Any small things which you have not wrapped inside a function or called a function, it will be carried out, but use effect will be carried out only when your page is properly loaded. But if you want to do this in the inverse way, so before your page is loaded, you want to do something, you use the use layout effect. All right, but let's just hook up with our use effect right now. Okay, so inside this you have a part, so we can just say console log this was updated. Now you want to do something whenever your count is being updated, so you have to add it inside a dependency tray. So right now if I just save it and don't add a dependency over here, it won't update this. So it will just display this once for you. So if I go to my console log over here right now, all right, always remember console log is your best friend and it will do everything for you. You see it says this was updated, right? Now you want to do something, do anything that is inside your use effect only and only when something changes. So let's say when your count is incremented, you want to update the state, or you want to run this again. So since I have passed it and a dependency, now you can pass in infinite amount of dependencies over here, but I would not request the advise you to do that. If you have to pass lots of dependencies, make sure that you sum them up, so this function only requires this dependency and all, and then use multiple use effects. No problem, don't worry about performance that much, but React already does that for you. So yeah, so you can use multiple use effects as well, and in the same way you can also use multiple use states. Please don't put in everything inside this as well. If you want, you can always have an object over here, so you can say this and then that and all that stuff. All right, so uh yeah, we were starting with 0, right? And now every time I increase the count, this should get console logged. Okay, so now if I click here, you see there is an increase in updated. You see it says 4, and I hit once more, then it says 5. Okay, chalo, so that was your use state, so that is the count, and then that is your set count as well. Chalo, so and yeah, we also did use effect. Let's start working with APIs and something for now. All right, so let's just find a good API. So I guess we can just get back to type code. It must have something for us in store. Yeah, so right now if we go over here, yeah, and then fetch this guy from here. So let's just copy this and paste this over here. Yes, we are getting something, and then we can also do save over here. All right, sorry. Yeah, we do get a ID of 2. Okay. So what you want to do right now is get this data and let's start working with data. All right. So let's just go back to our this part, and yeah, we can always copy this. So instead of copying the entire thing, let's just copy this file. Yeah, and let's say uh, const data equals to, so let's just create a state for the same. We will say data, and then yeah, we will not use this uh, const response equals to await. All right, we can just say now fetch, and then inside the brackets, yeah, let's just remove this because we have copied the entire line. We need to have an asynchronous function. It says async. Yeah, so I don't think it should work because it does not allow put the async function inside. Yes, so let's just get this outside and we will call in this function in there. Okay, so instead of messing our use effect, what we can say is we can say const fetch data equals to, now taking some params, and then we can say uh, set data, and hopefully this works. Now I have no idea if it will work for us, so this should say async. Yeah, and then over here let's just say fetch data and call this guy in over here. All right, and every time it is the over here we will just say console log data, and why is count being passed in a dependency array? Yes, yeah, let's just you can now skip this because if you want to do that, but because we are going to call in, okay, hasn't fetched data. All right, now if you see it does gives you recommendation, you can always skip them because fetch data is a function and you don't want it to be called every time. But still let's just put it in there and let's see what happens. So hmm, it is being called before it is being defined. All right, we still have problem with fetch data still. Change now move it inside the user call and change what the function of it into its use callback hook. Okay, chalo, so we can't do that actually. Chalo, so let's just do this and do this as well. So now still it has some problems, but value is never used. Yeah, let's just add in data over here, and still what is missing? Come on, yeah. Yep, now it works, and we can always put in our data. So we don't want to put in data right now. Let's go here and say fetch data. All right, it goes in over here. Chalo. So now even though we have a squiggly line, please don't just ignore it right now. Yeah, it works already for us. Failed prop type count is invalid. Okay, so yes, you will have to call it on some function count and all, but let's just control X this from here. And now I know this might be getting a tad bit confusing, but bear with me. Let's remove this as well. And yeah, and also, yes, now it should work. No, cancel, don't remove it right now. Okay, so fetch data is being called over here. Okay, let's just remove this. Hopefully, yeah, remove this as well. Yes, so now every time there is a change on count, why are we not getting anything? Okay, so please do this. Yeah, let's just console log data. So now hopefully, yes, you see, as soon as our layout is being updated, we get this, and whenever I click on button adds count, we get a promise. Okay, now we should be getting some data from here, uh, but how do we get that? All right, so that is how you work with data. For now, let's just keep in this. So over here, instead of saying 1, we want to get this thing dynamically for us. So we can always say count over here. All right, so why do you say missing dependency data? All right, so now it should work. Okay, okay, now it is going inside an infinite rendering, because you see data is actually becoming an array and you cannot pass in data, so you can always ignore this warning for now. Okay, so this is a bug and it has made my application lag. Chalo, so let's just close this tab. Okay, and go to our local host 3000 again. All right, and over here right now, yes, we are getting an undefined, but we will solve that later on. Yep, now you see every time we have a promise and it's a pending promise. Okay, chalo. So now you don't want to uh, do this, so let's just say I really want to know why it is not working, so let's just say fetch data over here and create a function that says fetch data const fetch data equals to, and then over here we can say uh, const data equals to await. All right, and then we can say this. No, what we have to say over here is, I guess, yeah. So now fetch is over here, and yes, this needs to be an asynchronous function. And let's just console log data for us and say return data. So yeah, every time the count is being updated, let's remove this as well. Yes, so yeah, yes, let's just call this response data and return it as well. Now I'm console logging data over here because come on, yeah, don't do this to me, please. All right, smoke it out. Let's not do this to ourselves. Yep, let's just disperse this guy. Yeah, and then every time we click over here, yes, we do get a promise. It is being fulfilled. Now we need to get some data in from this promise. All right, so what are we actually getting inside this data? So we need to find that. Yes, so let's just call it res. Okay, and then we can say res dot json, and this should be, yeah. Now let's just try and update it. Okay, it's a pending promise now. So res dot data dot json, I guess, cannot read property of json. Hmm. Now that is undefined. All right. JSON dot stringify. Okay, we are getting an undefined right now. All right, let's just forget about this part. Let's assume that it never happened. Okay, chalo. So this is your count, set count, and then your use effect as well. But there is things like, now say you want to create something like a navigation bar. Even though your Facebook is a React app, if you open up Facebook, hopefully there is nothing wrong going on here. All right. Let's go to Instagram. This is the best React stuff that I can tell you guys. So let's go to the home page. All right. So uh, right now you see, even though this is an Instagram, it is a React app and it's a single page app. It is supposed to be a single page app, right? But still you can route in this. So if I go to my portfolio page, so if I go to my profile page right now, you see it takes me to slash moheb stuff, and it does not change the repo. So if I am down over here, uh, and then I guess it should not work. Yeah, it still is one page app. So right now if I now keep on switching again and again, it has definitely become faster. And let's just refresh this page, and if I go to a profile page, you see now it takes time to bit of time to load. uh, but now if I go back to the home page and then come back over here and then go to my profile page, it takes me there instantaneously. So that is the thing, that even though it's a single page app, all right, but it does know that okay, this thing will be requested, so it will keep on fetching in the background whenever you are stationary. So if I'm sitting like this, it is fetching data for me and it is causing instantaneous updates. So this is being done by another library known as React Router com. All right, so this library allows us to navigate inside a React app. You usually cannot navigate inside a React app, but it is hard. You can use switch statements and all right. But React router helps you to do that far better. So I guess we don't have enough time for the day. We can do that tomorrow. So that's it for the day. Hopefully that you will complete the task and start with React. It will take time for you to do. All right. So let's just save this guy over here, close it off. Okay. Lavanya, do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
All right, chalo.
Sir, please share the recording, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Lavanya,
Yes, sir.
would you like to work with us? So we have this internship program, and I guess it will be soon be over for you. You can get a opportunity to be a trainer, and I will tell you what you should be teaching, and along that as well, you will be able to learn a few new things along the way. And yeah, you will be getting incentives for all the work you do. So according to hours you put in every day, you will be paid. So are you interested?
Sir, what I have to do, sir?
Just like me, you have to teach people. You can say train them as well to be, and then you can do that. But if you start a batch, then you have to complete it. Okay, so if you do one batch, then you have to finish it, then only you can leave. All right. So I'm just telling you that first only. And along the way, I will be telling you what you have to teach and what not you should not be teaching. You will be working under me, and I will be telling you what you want to. So on the first day, you should be teaching this and how you should be teaching it. So
Sir, is that your internship, sir?
yeah, yeah. So now that you have learned about Node.js, you have learned about React as well. So I by the time you start teaching someone else React, I will be finished with you. So it gives you a chance to learn more, because the things that I have taught you right now are now very small things right now. But if you start teaching someone else and or learning something else, you will start to know that the universe is vast, the programming structure is very vast. So if you are up for it, I can give your name, and then there will be a short interview, I guess. If you pass
Sir,
that,
sir,
uh, y-
actually, I'm in final year and I'm preparing for my placement, sir.
okay,
I
so
think I don't have that much time.
all right, ठीक है चलेगा फिर, it's fine, no problem. I was just asking you because we are supposed to output, because right now we are also starting Insta placements. So yesterday only we had talk with a Jaipur University and one from Bangalore. No, not Bangalore. I guess Banaras. Sorry, not Bangalore. Sorry, from a Banaras University. Yeah. So two universities we will be working with them, and there are like some companies as well. So there was one known as
Sir, I
Nine
think yeah, you will give jobs in North India, sir.
North India.
Sir, Jaipur and all these are not from North
No, no,
India.
we will be covering South India as well. Don't worry about that, okay? And the companies that we talked were not some small companies. Like one company worked from some, like it takes orders from people who are working in Singapore and from the corporate side. So you will be working for lawyers, CAs, and accountants and all that. So we develop technologies for them. They develop, not we. All right. So there are other companies that will be joining us soon. So we'll be covering the entire India actually, not just
Sir,
North
how
India.
much will you give, sir? Money?
Incentives. Why are you people worried about incentives and all? I never thought about that. I still don't get paid. I rejected it from front self only. We do get, like now there are things that should not be discussed, but do people do get 10K, 12K? Rajiv sir and Zina, Zia ma'am as well, both get 12,000 and 15,000 each. uh, I guess since I am volunteering, like by myself, I told them that since you don't have someone, I am up to do it. But the other trainers as well, they do get paid. Now they don't get paid 15,000 or 12,000 like Raju sir, but I am supposing they must be getting somewhere around, at least something they must be getting, right? So 4,000, 5,000, anything. Don't
Sir,
worry
that's
about the money
okay.
now.
I'm just asking, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about the money right now. Just look for some experiences right now, because when you step out and right now everything is going on online. So say I give you this 45 days certificate, you will have an experience of 45 days. It is far better than having no experience, right? So it will be a good opportunity for you. So right now only you saw that in your placement they asked about React. Nobody cares about JavaScript or PHP at their base. They want to know about if you know frameworks, you know backend, front end. So it is a learning opportunity, all right. So since you are saying no, then I guess it's fine. I will have to hunt for someone else as well, okay? Because I can take only two batches at a time. We already have two more incoming, so we will
Sir,
have to
that's
see
okay,
about
but,
that.
but I think I have classes from morning to evening, sir. And I have to, I have
Yeah,
also don't have that much time to prepare for placement, sir. That's why I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, it's all right. Chal, no problem. So we have started with React. Don't worry. I will get you to the point where at least you will be able to compete with some other people. Then we will be learning more as well. And if I see fit for you, I guess I will have to see, because if you perform good in React, we are also working on a few websites. So we have Career Dreams website. Then we also have our College Deco website, which I am working right now on for this CDE. And then Intern Deco is also there. So we will place you in one of them if possible. Now depends on your performance and all. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how
So
many days we have left, sir?
Well, officially only 2 days, but since we missed a lots of days, so I won't be doing lots of React with you. I will be connecting it to the backend and then connecting it to the server as well. So that's two things. And we will be teaching about routing in React. So tomorrow we'll learn about the React router. That will take another day. So I guess that's 4 days plus 7 days for your projects. Uh, Now that's, yeah. So that's 13 days more. You can say 10 days. Axios won't take a lots of time since we
Okay,
already
sir.
know Node.js, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please take Sunday also, sir.
Yeah. I am taking Sunday for you. All right.
Okay.
Chalo then. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye, sir.